Kendama nerds, what is going on? I am so happy to be back here in the virtual studio having the big old discussion with the one, the only MJ, my fellow nerd. We're here back again.
Oh yes.
It's been a while.
Oh
MJ,
my gosh.
how you doing? How you feeling today?
Dude, I'm doing good. Very excited. The nerds have united again. And this time, everyone, it is going to be an actual solo sesh. Me and Rod going back to the good old days. I believe it was
this time.
I believe it was like our first, I don't know, almost like year. We went pretty much with no guests. We had maybe a few sprinkled here and there. You know, Sweets was our first. We had Weens in there too. You know, some heavy hitters right at the beginning. But after, you know, we pretty much stuck with our routine of talking about what kendama was like, what was going on, the events of kendama, and especially I think it felt better because you were in Japan, and it was like, we were on the same time. It was like all, you know, like we're kind of at the same, like in the same wavelength because we're both in Japan world. Yeah, exactly. And now I'm in a very different world at the moment, but we can get into that later. Since we're just a couple of nerds nerding out, we kind of got to give the nerds a little bit of information so they can nerd out on the fucking chronological shit of this episode and shit. So for me, it is December 23rd, Thursday at 8:48 p.m. Ooh.
And I am here in sunny Bacalar, Quintana Roo, Mexico, which is a pretty nice place to be.
Yeah.
The place, it's back. If you have never heard of Bacalar, it's in the Yucatan Peninsula, basically in the Caribbean, just south of Tulum and Cancun and all that. And it's on this lagoon that is called the Lagoon of Seven Shades of Blue. And it's this beautiful lagoon. I've been in it daily, just chilling, playing kendama and swimming about and having a grand old time. It's a beautiful place to be.
Were you able to count all seven shades of blue?
You know, I'm still looking for that seventh and sixth shade of blue, I think. I don't know how many I've seen. I haven't been like, you know, I haven't done I haven't rented a kayak yet to like paddle out to really see it. I've only seen it from like, you can walk out pretty far. It's not super deep until you get like way out into it.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced on the seven shades. There's a few for damn sure, but I don't know about seven.
It's probably something like you have to be there at a certain time of year, or like only this one season you get that sixth and seventh color in.
I think what it actually is it used to be more clear, and there was like a hurricane or something in the last couple of years that kind of washed up a lot more seaweed and a lot of like debris into the lake. So the lake actually just isn't as clear as it used to be.
Well, shit.
And I'm just like, you know, I'm not saying it ain't beautiful. I'm not saying it ain't, you know, it's great. I'm there like every day. I'm like I could walk there in like 4 minutes right now, you know, like it's right there.
So man, okay. Yeah. So that's where Rod is right now. We've been getting into a little bit over here in the JP time. It is Friday, December 24th, Christmas Eve for all of those who celebrate 2021. This will probably be our final recording of this year. 2021. It has been kind of a shit year. It's been a wild year. A lot of things have happened. I guess wild. Yes. Multiple downs. I feel you know, depending on who you're talking to, I think it's been for the most part, I think a pretty difficult year for everyone. And I feel especially sad because of how off I was with scheduling, with getting my shit together, especially for damanerds. There's been a tornado of sorts hitting my life and me figuring out what I can do to support myself. Yeah. So that has kind of, you know, taken reins in the forefront of my energy. So damanerds has been a little bit put on the side, not a little bit, I guess a lot. We still have recordings, everyone. I mean, hopefully by the time you listen to this one, there should be two other ones that we have. Yeah. We have two banked that were recorded early.
We're not fucking throwing in no goddamn towel. These nerds are not done. Don't you fucking get your panties in a bunch. We are going to be around. We're going to be nerding out. We got guests to get. We got shit to talk. Totally. We got fucking information to nerd out about.
Yes, 100%. But I just want to be like, thank you for everyone who's continued the support on the Patreon and supporting on in any way possible, watching the videos, listening to the episodes, hyping up the Instagram account and stuff. Thank you all so much.
Sharing it with your friends, whatever.
Yeah, it really, really means a lot. And I just super grateful for everyone to continue that support, because just like Rod said, those panties better not be in a bunch just yet, because we ain't going anywhere yet.
It's not too late to pick out that wedgie, guys and girls. We're good.
Pick it out. Someone conchoed you.
Pick it out.
If someone conchoed you, you might need some help.
Someone conchoed you. Oh no. For those of you who don't know concho, I think maybe MJ, maybe you should explain it. It'll be a little more fun from you, I think.
The kancho is a kid's play here in Japan. What mostly, I guess, boys and girls both enjoy it, but primarily the boys, I think, enjoy it a lot more. Where you make your hand into a pistol shape, right? But not only the single hand, if you have your index fingers straight out and your thumbs pointed straight up, you double up. So with your right hand and your left hand, bring them together, almost like you're doing a Hail Mary or some shit, but keep the gun shape. And what you do is you kneel down, you get a friend who is into something else, like their focus is somewhere else, blindside them up the butthole with this gun shaped hands that you have, and that is called the kancho. I think everyone who has been to Japan, a lot of the pros, I'm sure, know the kancho. If they haven't, then they haven't spent enough time with Zawa. He's not like he doesn't do it all the time, but I'm sure he'll do it to a few people here and there.
It happens, right?
So that's the kancho. So back to it. If you were conchoed, then picking that wedgie, you might need some extra help. Okay. But yeah, so there's episodes to going out. Dude, I'm just, again, just like looking back at this year, thinking about how I wanted, I was so enthusiastic about, and possibly like full of myself, being like, oh, let's do like a month of like just girl eps, of women eps.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. We should do it. We had a list. We got set for it. Made contact with people.
We did still do it.
Super grateful for the third nerd, Haley Bischoff, joining us.
Yeah.
Old
always a pleasure
MC.
to have Haley around.
Help out with those episodes. And I'm so sad that they had to be spread out throughout the year. It was a women's year for the Damanerds, pretty much.
They deserve more than a month. It's fine.
But the content, I feel so bad, everyone. Fuck.
It's all good, bud. It's all good.
So I'm
all good.
Trying to organize myself a lot better. I've been like the worst ever since I was young, probably. And I just never really noticed, but like, I'm horrible at scheduling and getting shit done, especially if there's like no one to kind of like, get on you about it. Like when I'm at the office, I'm working, you got your managers and shit. Like, all right, here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. Do it, MJ. I'm like, all right, fucking captain.
So just to be clear, is this a subtle little poke at me so that I should get on your ass more? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no.
Is that what you need?
No, I mean,
because I could do that a little bit. I'm in no rush myself. I'm over here traveling. I'm just stoked that we can do this while I'm in Mexico and shit. Yeah. So like,
well, that's good, dude. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it would help, but I would also feel like, oh shit, is Rod like kind of like, fuck, like, come on, like get those shits out like a little bit. I know like you're not really, but like it would come off. I would understand it like that, even though I know you'd be like, whatever, I'm just smoking a spliff. Like it's cool.
Whatever. I'm just smoking a spliff.
Yeah. So
exactly. Yeah.
But all that said, that is my goal, to schedule a lot better so I can make this stuff a праймary kind of pretty much income for me. This whole time I've been working a normal job, and after Corona hit, lost that job. The whole fucking company went down. Everyone in the company lost their job, and it was a shitty state of affairs. And I was just riding it out. But I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I'm like, dude, can I? Yeah.
I was just going to say, sorry to add to that. At what point during that did you have your third kid?
Oh yeah. So that was when the pandemic hit 2020.
Yeah. So
like
it was
early
like just
2020.
before that, right?
Right. It was like just
as that was all happening.
It was like maybe 2 months after lockdown kind of started here in Japan. And again, the numbers compared to North America and Europe, in some places there, it's not anywhere close to what everyone was experiencing overseas. But still, like, you know, I couldn't see my third kid's birth. Like no one else was allowed. Only the wives, only the women.
Yeah.
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 No
That's
one else.
Wild. You weren't even allowed to be there for it.
Nope. I had to drop.
Father.
I had to drop my wife off and say good luck.
Oh my God.
And then I just waited for a call or like a picture from her.
Whoa, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. And it sucks because it was like, third kid. I've seen my other two be born. Emotional roller coaster. It's amazing.
I can't imagine.
I couldn't get, and especially because, dude, the last child, we were like, we don't know. We don't want to know the sex. We want it to be a surprise.
Oh, so you had to wait longer.
I had to wait. I mean, my wife like shared it over whatever VidTime and like pictures and shit. But I had an inkling. I had an inkling that it was going to be a boy.
You had a little tingle.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to hype it up too much. I was telling my mind, nope, it's going to be another girl. I'm going to have 3 girls. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be 3 girls. Think about the name, you know? But then in the back, I was like, if it's a boy, that'd be the best. The best. But in any case, yeah. And so pandemic, it was the best. Not the best, actually. You know, I would have preferred to be there. But yeah, all that shit happening. And that was like, I guess, the first lull that hit hard, taking care of my kid at the very beginning of this pandemic last year.
Yeah.
That slowed down momentum so hard. The train came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
And getting
your
schedule
that shit back suddenly
in.
became so much less. You were like, we used to do a lot more. Like you were way more open. And then it was like, yo, I can only do these days because you go, you got 3 children to juggle. You're a real juggler now, buddy. You got 3 of them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You've graduated.
Hold them by what, like the ankles or something?
I mean, I'm sure there's different grips. We don't know how to get into that.
Child grips.
I'm not the dad. You're the dad. I don't know about the kid grips.
Oh man. But yeah, so juggling all that shit and getting that stuff done. And just trying to figure out what I could do and trying to go like full force with content and like YouTube. And there's already so many people supporting on Patreon, which I'm, again, super thankful for. Yeah. And I was like, if I could just keep on growing this, as well as like, there's so much that is not out for like the kendama, like YouTuber side. There's a bunch of people who do like reviews and stuff. I'm like, but there's so much more that can be done. There's a few heads out there who are getting into it. And I was like, like I've always wanted to do it, but with my time restraints, with the family and work, I was like, it's kind of tough to do. But now it's like, this is like, I have all the time and I got to put 100%, 110% into this shit to give back. Yeah. Because it's like something that I think everyone can get some value out of, enjoy, as well as like me to enjoy. Because you know what, dude? Yeah. It's like I look at your life, Rod, and you're like fucking living it. You're just fucking like a Ronin living wild.
A Ronin. Yeah. Ruroni Rod.
Yeah. So it's like, that's awesome. But then like when you get to, have responsibilities of having a family and wife and a house and all this shit. Yeah, I know. You're like, I'm good for another.
I don't got none of that. I don't got none of that. That's what I mean. I can't imagine, man. I'm like on the opposite end where I'm just like, no, all that sounds nice. Yeah. And like maybe one day I'll get there. But until then, I'm gonna continue to fuck around and wander and do shit.
Yes.
Which is life is too short.
Yeah, exactly. Which is totally fine. It's like, but just like figuring out what to do with the circumstances that we have, and just to push forward with all of this shit. Because when you get older, this is what I was getting to. I kind of forgot for a second.
All good.
Figuring out what you want to do for your life. Heavy shit.
Yeah.
Heavy shit. I think everyone gets to a point.
And then you spend the rest of the time wondering if you were right or if you fucking made the wrong decision or all this shit.
Right.
Self-doubt is fucking a very normal thing.
Right.
It's one of those things, you know? It's all these things, all that kind of shit, from my perspective at least, is just another way to fucking look at something and another challenge, an obstacle to overcome.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, that's just a challenge. It's a test at my endurance, my ability to enjoy, even if this bullshit is on me. Because if this bullshit is on me, it's gonna suck if I try to enjoy it or if I don't. So I might as well try to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It might suck just a tiny bit less, and even if it's just a tiny bit less, that's better, ain't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, dude, that's totally like kendama play. There's so many people who are just like fucking bogged down about like having a lull or like hitting a plateau or something, or just feeling not on it for like a certain sesh or something, recording. You
know, real talk, that's how I've felt, man. Since I fucking been traveling and shit, I fucking haven't been playing as much as I like normally would, like especially with the boat thing. And I was like working on the boat all the time. Yeah. And all that stuff. And I guess like quick little update for all of y'all who are interested. I am no longer on the Equanimous. I kind of left and I'm on my own little journey.
Yeah, he fucking took the safety boat. It was like,
things didn't quite work out as well as I'd hoped, and yada yada. So I took an opportunity where I was in Cabo San Lucas after sailing down to there in Mexico, and I was talking to Tio from the GT team, and he was in San Jose staying with Ben Harold and Adrian Esteban, and they had an event going on and all this shit. And I was bugging him to come to Mexico because he was so close. I'm like, motherfucker, it's right there. You were usually so far apart. Like, get on the plane. Come on. Like, come on down here. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And yada, yada. And then he was just like, yo, we'll figure something out. We'll hook you up a little bit if you kind of want to come up here kind of thing. He said that to me. And I was just like, you know what? That sounds like what I should be doing. So I did. I hopped on a plane to San Jose, and I went to San Jose for 10 days and hung out with the GT homies and did a little filming. And it was, as I like to put it, it was a much needed layover on my trip. Just a nice little layover on Planet Kendama.
Yeah, right.
On my little
get back with the Dama nerds.
That was what it took for me to like really, really fucking lit a fire under my ass. Those guys were making me fucking train triples and new gen tricks and shit.
Oh no way!
I've been trying to do a trip J stick every day. I still have since I left San Jose. Actually, for you, Tio, I've been doing a trip J every day. And now I can get them way more consistent. And I never used to be able to do trips. You know,
dude,
it's like
that's me right now with triple lighthouse flip.
Yeah.
I want that more.
I feel you, dude. Like, for some reason, I find trip stilt flip easier than triple lighthouse flip. I don't know why. It's just because the way, like, when I do a stilt flip, I pay way more attention to it, I think. I don't know what it is, but that's just me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Or like the flip of it too. Like maybe you have better like angle to pressure it, to push it. Yeah. Maybe
it's just like, my hand grip or something. I don't know what it is, but that's just what it feels like. Maybe it's all in my head and I just think that, and I'm just need to practice it all more.
But the lull, like,
which
dude,
is most likely the case.
It was so awesome to see you like, you know, your little cameos you had in those edits from the GT squad. Yeah, dude, that was so fucking great. No one was expecting that, man. And it was great.
No, nobody was.
You threw in that little like Hinata kind of jam up against the fucking wall.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was such a cool trick. I think that was Ben's idea. Ben is one of those dudes where every time I hang out with him, he like we'll sit there and we'll kind of look at each other for a second, and then he'll just like be like, "Yo, so this trick," and he'll
looks into your soul.
Dude, and he knows, and like I'm like, he'll say a trick, and I'm like, yo, that's like kind of like this trick that I've been thinking of, but I haven't tried it yet because it's fucked up hard. And he's just like, yeah, good luck. He's like, you know, and now I'm just like, fuck, now it's all I can think about, and I just keep trying it, and I can't do it yet, but I'm gonna. Yeah, one of these fucking days.
I feel like I don't know what it is, but maybe it's like the look of the Herald. And you know, hearing about Adrian living with him and Adrian stating the fact how he's like, my game really leveled up once I started living with Ben. It's like a fucking Dama dojo, I feel, in his house.
It is, man. It is. It's fucking cool. Like their backyard is all set up sick. They have like a all of his roommates and shit are all into tricking and stuff. So they have like a springboard floor kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
in the backyard. That's all tarped over, of course, for rain and whatever. And it's a huge yard. Their house is dope, honestly. San Jose is cool. And they have like the floodlights set up too, so you can sesh all night. Like you can film there and it's sick. Like it's pretty dope actually.
Right.
And not to mention like the company, you know, like you got Adrian, Ben, and then Tio was there too.
And
not to mention all their dope roomies and like, you know, like some of the other homies rolled through, like Isaiah. I met Isaiah for the first time. He's a guy who went to school with Weens and mash and rice and shit.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
Like,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a dope dude. We filmed some shit. He had like one of those like crazy 4K red cameras that they film movies with and shit.
Yes.
So we were filming some shit with that. And like I went to his place and we jammed for a bit, made some music. I've recorded my first guitar solo. That was fun. I've never done that.
Jumping on a
I've been
six
playing
string
guitar a little bit. Yeah, I bought a guitar here in Mexico, dude. I'm traveling with a little acoustic.
Ooh, getting a little.
I paid 1,000 pesos for it.
Awesome. And how is it? How's it treating you?
It's great. It's super fun. I spent most of the day today sitting in my hammock playing guitar until it was like late enough and it wasn't crazy hot to go down to the water. And then there's this secret little beach that you walk off of the public dock. And you walk through the water and like hop this tiny little fence and then keep walking along the coast. And there's just like all these little seashells in the water. It's all clear and little fish swimming around and shit. And then there's this tiny little hidden beach with like an old dilapidated, like cabana kind of umbrella thing. It's not very big. It's only about 5 feet by 5 feet, just like a little umbrella, but it's made out of straw and like wood and shit. And there's like a dock that's all deteriorated. So it's all almost gone except for the end of it. So there's just a platform that's like I don't know, about 40, 50 feet into the lake kind of thing.
It's like where they used to film for Gilligan's Island or something.
It's kind of what it looks like. It's apparently a huge pirate spot. There's like a channel, it's called Pirates Channel, where the pirates would come into town and attack the town. And there's like a fucking fort that has cannons all over. It's like kind of cool, honestly. Bacalar is a cool little town.
You got to get some shots over there, dude.
I've gotten a couple. I discovered today that I have this jumbo juggling kind of setup, 2 tamas and a kennel stringless, and I've been playing with it a bunch, and I realized today that like that shit floats. So I like went up into the water until it was like just above my knees, and because juggling, you don't use your knees as much as you do with kendama. Yeah. Even if I'm doing the kendama stuff with the juggling, I usually don't. Sometimes I do, which was a bit of a hindrance, but I digress. Having the water there was sick because I would be juggling, and every time I dropped one, I didn't have to bend over to pick it up or chase the ball down the fucking road because it's just floating in the water right there next to me, and it was sick. So I had this real revelation of that. And then I was like, I learned a couple new things because having everything really soaked makes things stick together in a cerun way and shit. So I had some funny, funny little, no spoilers. Yeah, you'll see the footy eventually, but yeah, I wasn't super hyped on filming a whole bunch, and I'm still not like super stoked on the grind because I'm just in like vacation mode. It's hard to just, I'm just sitting here drinking coconuts and beers and tequila and eating tacos and eating pineapples and papayas and having a grand old time, meeting some cool people. Life is good. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That Ronin spirit of yours, just traveling.
I went scuba diving for the first time ever the other day. There was a fucking crocodile in this cenote we went scuba diving in. It was sick.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You Steve Irwin.
He was chill though.
Yeah. You got the Steve Irwin vibes, and we're able to
No, he was up on the surface just chilling, but apparently he does like swim around with people, but it's like a super popular like diving spot. There's a bunch of people there. Like it's okay. He's always there. I forget what his name was. It was like Pacino or something like that. They call him Pachulo. He had a name.
Croc that's like always there.
Like that.
Fucking crazy, it's funny, dude. Man. Fucking
Spanish
crazy.
is a whole nother thing too. Learning another language, trying to not forget my Japanese and not speak Japanese instead of Spanish is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a brain fuck, dude. Trying to swap through. I don't understand how people like to speak more than like 3 languages really get it organized. Yeah.
Well, I'm like, this is gonna, if I have any success with it, it would be my 4th language that I'm at least proficient in,
Oh, shit.
I wouldn't say I'm fluent in Japanese or French, but I can have a conversation.
You can hold it. Yeah. You hold your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Spanish, I'm like getting to the point where I can understand it, but speaking it's hard.
the listening aspect is what comes first. All languages.
Yeah, 100%.
Shit.
Yeah.
Nerds, it's ridiculous. This is how this year has been rolling. 2021. I'm sure a lot of people have been hitting highs and lows, or just the unknown. In Japan, every year is finished off with a kanji, a final character that is decided for how the year was. And each year it's kind of like a what is it called? Not a raffle, but like a survey kind of thing where they decide what the kanji is going to be. I forget how many people they ask, but it is decided in Kyoto in Kiyomizu-dera, which is that famous, like the most famous temple in Kyoto. If you ever go there, like that's the one everyone goes to. And
I know the one.
Oh, the waterfall, and there's that huge like stone that you try to pick up if you're like strong enough. Overlooks the whole city. So the kanji for this year was gold. And I was looking at that, and I think many people as well was like, gold, like why the fuck gold? Like if I was to decide, I would have chosen like mystery or like unknown, because or that's like how I felt. The fucking like shit. I mean, the short connection with that is because of the Olympics that happened, which I think most people already forgot about. There was the Tokyo Olympics. So that's why the kanji for gold was chosen, because I think the Japanese team got the most golds this year than they have before. So, I mean, that works out and it's good for that. But overall, like it didn't seem like such of a gold kind of year. We'll soon to learn how this turns out, because, you know, whatever, the US is kind of getting hit hard. Europe's getting hit again. Japan is like almost at negatives numbers. So some shit crazy.
Is it? I thought Japan went into lockdown again. That's good to hear.
They locked down because the rest of the world was kind of getting all wonky. So they closed their borders.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. They closed their borders. But still, you know, even through these times, there's a lot of shit that was still going down that we found out about. You know, Rod had his new mod come out on the Kocho shape, where you can finally test out what that shape is like, dude. And that's something that's really cool. Yes, of course, we did a deep dive into Rodney Ansel, with a bunch of stories.
A whole lot of puking stories.
Yes. Mostly puking, but you know, a lot of
not mostly. It came back.
Yeah, but a lot of good shit was going down, and we saw that a lot of companies, maybe not a lot, but you know, Sweets continued to push the online competition side of it, being very active there on Twitch as well, still being a presence, and I feel like, man, like Sweets is just dominating.
Yeah, they're doing good with all that. I mean, everything has been shut down basically, right? Like nobody has much going on other than Sweets in that regard, because they got it set up.
Yeah, before anyone else, and they were able to ride it.
The only ones who are like doing the same thing really are Glowcan.
Yep,
with the World Cup and with Catch and Flow and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm like pretty bummed. I was traveling for both World Cup and Catch and Flow, so this was the first time ever that I didn't compete in both of those.
Ooh.
Yeah,
especially
I did watch them as much as I could on shitty Wi-Fi and stuff, and it was epic. I was watching Catch and Flow for sure. I was in Tulum in Mexico, and I was like, it was really late. Everybody in my hotel room was going to sleep, and I was like just trying to watch it, and I was like, and I had to we're gonna get up early the next day and go do that scuba diving thing I was talking about. So I was like, fuck, I can't just stay up till 4 watching this. I gotta go to sleep.
Right. Yeah, especially since like it's such a different feeling to be there. Of course, you know, like you have been there plenty of times, so you know like what the real Catch and Flow atmosphere is like. So to watch it on camera for everyone else, you know, who can't join the venue itself in the past years, it's like kind of boring. No? Felt like it's kind of, even at the event, it's not boring. There's downtime, but like you're hanging out with your friends, you're sneaking out to the kombini, grabbing some brews, you know, coming back in and shit.
Playing some Dama in the streets.
Yeah.
And like, it's, I don't know, it definitely isn't the same. And there's no way that it ever could be, because it's such a thing. But it does have its own charms and shit. And it is cool to see everybody's face and see everybody like throw down and shit. And then like the coolest thing though about this year was the fucking Japan squad, is it the high receipts?
dude. Yes. Now high receipts. Yep.
Yeah, and
Yasu and Soma
and Soma, exactly. Yeah. Dude, I saw a picture of Kaito. Kaito looks like he's taller than me now.
He's massive. Did you hear his voice? I think a recent
I didn't hear his voice. No.
A recent clip on the high receipts post, you hear his voice. And he's like, konnichiwa, Kaito desu. And I was like, whoa, like, dude hit puberty hard. It was just like turned on a dime.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen him in how long, right?
I kind of feel like last time I saw him, he was little, and then all of it, like I don't know, like Yasu's height, like they were the same for a while. Yeah,
they were the same, like, dude. 2019 Catch and Flow, they were the same fucking height.
They were
when Kaito won,
exactly. And then after that, pandemic hit. I don't know what. Maybe the other Kaito got the vaccine before they said kids shouldn't get the vaccine. He fucking got the shit. He fucking blew up. Who knows?
Dude, he got juiced up. Maybe if that's the case, fuck.
Huge. It's very fun to see him.
Dude, it's so cool. Like I was talking about this the other day, just like telling people that I've met about like the scene a little bit and just like things in Japan and yada yada. And because, traveling with people, you meet people traveling, you talk about travels, of course. So I'm like, wow, I've been to Japan a lot, and just talking about like all the little kids and stuff like Nobu. Like I met Nobu for the first time in, I think it was 2014 when I got flown out. Gloken flew me out to do like a mall event for a week. And then I also performed with Zumadanke at like a Sakura festival in Hatsukaichi.
Was that the year that you guys did the, what is it called? Stop motion animation of you doing like the whirlwind and the flip on the ground. You remember that? No,
shit? That was another time. Yeah, I do remember that shit. That shit was sick. That was another time, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought that was because you've been flown out a bunch of times. But in any case, the times you're flown out, you met Nobu when he was 2014.
Yeah, I met Nobu and Soma, and they were like this. They were tiny, man. Like Nobu was like up to my belly button, and I'm not a tall guy. Like he's just this little kid. I have a picture actually, like I have on my laptop, I have as my background, I just have a folder of old pictures that just like every couple hours it changes the picture, which is like the dopest thing for a background. And one of them is from that day and it's the whole squad. Yeah. And there's so many, like all of the, like the Hatsukaichi kids, like Nobu and Soma and Hyo are in there. And like the Tokyo Dama girls, Yuka's in there, Tomotsu.
Oh man, all three of them, four?
Yeah, the three of them, the original three. Kazuma Iwata is in there with his family. His two kids and his wife are in there too. Like, it's a cool picture. I'll get it to you so we can post it on the Nerds Insta.
Nice.
So all you nerds can see it. That was a good time, man. It's just like cool to see these little kids just like grow up. Like, makes me feel old, but I don't mind because it's like pretty dope to fucking watch this shit.
Right.
It's just like I meet these little kids and I'm like, I remember meeting Nobu being like, damn, that kid is fucking really good for how big he is, kind of thing,
Right.
And that's only gotten worse with time. Like, I mean, look at Yasu. Don't get me started on Yasu.
Oh my God, dude.
Right. But
again, we've said plenty of times. How it's like when you enter into kendama, what kendama is like at that time, it's like that's your starting point. So like for us oldies, our starting point was like go like around the world. That's it. Fucking like dude, lunar was
pretty fucking good.
Just getting a lunar was godly level. Lunar flipping.
I'm sure I've said this before and I will forever say it and reiterate it that like I fucking for sure thought that lunars were impossible when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Like I 100% was like, no, that's not okay.
That was me for real. UFO. The first time I saw UFO, I was like, nah.
Yeah, man. And it's just, that's the beautiful thing about it is it's just like, you start not believing in this shit. And then all of a sudden you keep trying it until you make it possible. And you're like, well, fuck, what does that make me? That makes me fucking sick.
Makes us fucking even sicker to still be in the crowd in it, jiving with the other kendama players if they're doing new gen tricks or not. Because the best thing is that flavor that I think the olds have within the
Dude,
kendama sphere now, because when you play a game of Ken against us, you'll be learning some new shit that we'll throw at you and vice versa, you know?
Exactly.
There's
totally.
pushing both ways for growth. So it's cool
That's what's
to
up
have
with
it.
playing with people, man. That's why we play with each other. That's why the community is such a good thing, is because like you meet other people who are like-minded, but like also of different origin perhaps, or like, you know, whether that be geographically or just like mentally, you know, and like you're approaching it different. Like when I hang out with like Adrian, you know, like, and Adrian's like doing these string tricks, I'm like, yo, I never fuck with those. And I'm just like, yo, show me how you did that. I want to see it. I got to see it, you know, like, and then he does it and he's like stoked to show you. Right. And I'm just like, fuck, that's fucking so sick. Yeah. I got to learn that. It's going to take me fucking 4 years. God damn it. But that's so sick.
Yeah. But to like have someone like explain it, like, cause before meeting everyone in person, like you would just watch people's clips and try to dissect it from the angle that they gave you. And sometimes it was like impossible. Like I have no idea. But if you had someone, if you could talk to them in person and find out like how they did it exactly, let them teach you, it'll bring you to that next level like so much quicker.
Dude, 100%. So like two minds are better than one, right?
Oh man. So amazing. So that was like really interesting to think about. And like, I know you've done plenty of like, not English teaching, but Dama teaching.
Yeah.
In many different countries now. Too, but yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it was always for like kind of the beginner class, right? Kind of people who didn't know about kendama yet. You do a lot of like showcases, pop-ups and stuff. But interesting. Did you see how D Westy, I'm not sure if he's doing it anymore, but he was open for kendama like lessons. That.
Yeah. I mean, shit, dude. Who couldn't use a lesson from D Westy, man?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Pulling some gnarly ass tricks all the time.
But yeah, that's an interesting thing that I don't know if anybody else has really explored that. I don't know if I've seen anybody else do that really like publicly, is that just like openly state like, yo, I'll do a lesson. It's this much.
Yes, exactly. Where it's like, how much I'm interested to see how many people have jumped on that opportunity to learn from a skilled player like him, and how many people are just like, whatever, like I'll get there on my time. Cause I feel it's like you need a pretty hard motivation and push to be like, okay, I really do want to level up. Because it's like, if you think about like going to school, learning like a trait for some sort of job you want to do, you go to the lessons, you study hard. But for kendama, it's like everyone sees it as more of a hobby thing. So it's like,
totally,
you got to be really passionate to throw in for a lesson.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, people learn differently too, right? Like some people thrive better in like that kind of environment where they have somebody showing them every step of the way and telling them what they're doing wrong. And of course that's going to be helpful to anybody. Yeah. But like some people like can just figure it out on their own a little quicker. You know, it's like if you've ever taught somebody on the street kendama, I'm sure you've seen somebody spike it first try, and you've also seen somebody who like won't even try and just like, nah. And then you see somebody who tries for like 15, 20 minutes and still can't get it, but they just keep trying. You know, there's like, it takes all kinds. So it's like, it's good to have all those options in the community, right? Like,
yeah, dude, that's really cool.
I think it's cool to see that DUSC's even like putting himself out there like that. Cause like, it's kind of an interesting thing too. Cause like, if you're charging somebody for your time, then it's like, well, they're going to expect something, right? So you have to make sure you have something to offer, not just be like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm DUSC, like, this is how you do this trick, like flip down spike, like, there you go. You know, like, and I'm sure did better than that, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. It's very like new, I think, in North America for that kind of thing to happen, because it's already happened in Japan. You know, I know that Sue Lab has like has Dama lessons that you pay for service and Sue will teach you specific tricks. I know Easy just started a freestyle like dance / kendama school that he does lessons and shit for. So this is interesting to see like what other, it's a kind of a market or a profession that someone could take on, like a kendama teacher.
Yeah, totally.
Not just what Kubota-san was doing this whole time, spreading the love, but actually like being like, this is how you do it. Like, like being a coach.
Yeah, being a coach. That's a better word for it, I think, actually, than teacher. The act of like showing somebody how to do a kendama trick or like just feels more like coaching than teaching to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy, but
I mean, it sounds better. You know, they're like helping you. They're pointing out like maybe the bad things, the things that you should improve on. It's coach. It's coach. So if there was, so to go back to like how I mentioned before, like we could only watch people's clips and then try to like dissect it from that. Is there anyone that you've seen like clips of where you want to like go to them and be like, show me shoulder to shoulder? How do you do that?
Man, Mr. fucking Flox, dude.
That's what I was going to fucking say. Holy shit.
Dude,
he is.
I want to see that bevel. I want to know what the hell is going on with that shit. Cause like, good Lord, man is a goddamn magician.
Every time I'm back in the Matrix when I watch his videos, his clips, and it is something that I think everyone, you know, has questions about and is just like in awe because it's like, how? Like just looking at it, you know, that's impossible. And then you actually try it and you're like, yeah, that's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
But
it's weird.
I have heard that the origin damas, those Kens do lock in pretty fucking crazy.
They're sick as fuck. Yeah.
I haven't played any of them.
The guy who makes them knows what's up.
Exactly.
He's the homie.
And I've been kind of wanting to get one, especially because they are like the kind of traditional 16 size. And like, that's all I have. That's all I've been jamming for the most part. So I'm so comfortable with those. So I'm super interested. Still haven't gone and picked one up, but you know, there's another player on the Origins team. I forgot what his name was. He's from Italy, kind of long hair, always has it up. And nasty style. I feel bad like not knowing his name right now.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
He posted one video and is like, you know, shout out like Flox, and he did some crazy locking, almost like a locking like bev stall. And he's like, you know, he just goes back to like these damas are nuts. They're honed in for locks. And I was like, that's And you see Flox like he gets it on handle and you see him like do the little shake. You know, some people do that to like really fucking like,
oh yeah.
Is that what is
that's
that?
The thing, dude. I definitely do that.
Right.
If I'm gonna do like a handle stall, like trade something trick, you'll definitely see me doing that. Like where I'm like kind of
like almost like set it.
Yeah, it's almost like you're like frying an egg or like frying some rice or something. You got to like give it that little stir into the good spot, you know?
Yeah.
Don't burn it. Just keep it right there.
Right there. And yeah, then he throws these like, you know, we thought, you know, plenty of like around the back doing flamingos with these stalls were ridiculous enough. But I think this year he's been fucking sending barrel rolls.
Yeah, he has the handle stall barrel roll flip thing. I literally don't get it. I don't get it.
Barrel like sense. Over to like to finger balance, like right under on the sword part, you know, like
it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I was also looking too. There's a bunch of really good entries for Krom's Trick of the Year contest.
Yes, there are a few, dude. Where's your dissection whirlwind?
It's in there.
Is it? I didn't see it. I didn't look at it close enough, I guess.
I posted it in there the first Wednesday after I released the edit.
Hells yeah. I was contemplating.
After they released the edit. I wasn't there for the release of the edit. I was fucking on this remote little spot in Mexico called Bahia de Santa Maria.
Already in Mexico.
And I couldn't. And I had no. Well, it started while I was on the boat, and then we anchored, and I was at this place, and there was no service for days. I didn't see my edit until it like fully, because there's a couple little things that Max was going to change on it. Shout out Max for doing such a good job, by the way. He fucking killed it.
Yeah.
And but anyways, I didn't see it until like it was about a week after the release when I finally got to watch the video.
All right. Yes.
And I didn't get a Dama until I was in San Jose, like because there was like I had a couple of the prototypes, but I didn't have one of the finished ones. Yeah. You know, like until it was fucked, man.
Smith needed to order like 5 carrier pigeons to bring that heavy load to you. Yeah, drop it off the boat.
Yeah. He needed one to locate me and then 4 more to carry each Dama.
Right. So you were like a week late from all of the DMs and people like reposting and sharing, being like, fuck yeah.
I finally got the worst Wi-Fi you've ever seen, and my phone just slowly exploded for like an hour. It was actually quite hilarious. Just because because it was like so fucking slow. You'd only get so many notifications at a time, and it was like it would blow up and then be like, okay, and then it would like kind of freeze for a second, and then it would blow up again, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, it was fucking weird.
Damn. But yeah, right. That was one amazing thing that happened to so many cool things that have happened. I forgot where we were going with this, but you know, that's how this whole year's been. I
was talking about trick of the year stuff.
Trick of the year. That's what it was. Yeah. And then, Flox and who's going to win it. I forgot who won last year.
I do too.
Everyone does.
I think it was a thing. I was talking about it with Theo and the Krom dudes too. It was interesting.
That must be tough, dude. That must be tough to fucking find.
I can't imagine, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Trick of the year.
I fucking win. I could use the extra $1,000, honestly. I really could. I just spent like 3 weeks in this town called Tulum, and it was like incredibly more expensive than I anticipated. Ooh. So your boy's hurting a little bit. I might have to go do a little work before I continue my journey here.
Yeah.
If I don't win. Plenty of other people deserve it more, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of that kind of shit, you know what else is coming up that I'm pretty fucking stoked on, that I fucking have some ideas and probably just going to roll with, is the fact that it's going to be a new year soon, which means there's going to be a new year, new edit contest. Take 2.
Yes. I was curious about that. How is that all going to happen?
I'm going to do it the same way as I did last year. I'm just going to, yes, I am. However, I have purchased a Mexican SIM card that has unlimited sketchy data. So I should be able to at least figure some shenanigans out. And I don't know how. So last year I did hand turns for prizes. I don't know how I'm going to fandangle that one.
Dude, some shells from the beaches of Mexico.
I was going to say, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look around here and find some, like a care package from Rod, from Mexico or wherever I'm at when it ends up happening. It'll be
make like a croc belt or some croc teeth necklace.
Maybe I'll go find the biggest bolero I can find.
Ooh.
And it'll be one of those. And I've seen some big ones.
True.
I saw a guy when I was in Ensenada. This was a funny time, actually. I'm gonna go on a little tangent to a story here.
Let's hear it.
I was walking down the street, and I've been rocking the Dama around my neck, because like it's always fun to do that in a country where nobody knows what it is, and you're just by yourself. You don't know anyone. It's an easy way to meet people. Yada yada. Anyway, I'm walking down the street, and everybody has these little shops with all the little trinkets they're selling and shit like that. And this guy's like, "Oh, my friend, like I have one," and I'm just like, "One of these?" Like, "No, you don't. There's no fucking way." And he goes, no, I do. And I'm just like, okay, show me it. So he goes in his store, and sure as shit, he pulls out a fucking kendama. Oh. And it's like this shitty, like I've seen them before in Japan. They're like Chinese made, like really shitty, like small cup, barely a bevel, like slickest paint you've ever fucking felt. Like just not ideal. Just like the cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Buy it. Yeah, Dama. Exactly. And whatever. So he gives it to me, and I just did like a couple, like, around the world something. And then I like dropped it, and he's like, "Oh, you're pretty good." And I was like, "Yeah, it's not bad, but mine's better." And then I like did like actual tricks with my kendama and showed him, and he was all stoked. And I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Okay. Well, see you later, dude. I'm going to go." And then I walked down the street, and within like 10 steps, there's another store where this dude is just sitting there swinging this fucking bolero and like yanking it. He goes, swing, yank. And he's just doing it every try. Every try. And this thing was like, it was taller than a tall can of beer. Like it was like, I want to say a foot tall, and like
both pieces of it together,
4-inch diameter. I'm talking about the barrel alone.
Whoa.
Just the barrel. And then it had a string with like a tiny little stick that was probably like 8 to 10 inches kind of long.
Like,
and like
chopsticks.
And he's just fucking yanking this fucking thing. It was so funny.
Showing off.
It was wild.
Did you start throwing moon circles? Yeah.
Oh, I looked at him, and I just did a swing spike, and I was like, hey. And he was just like, hey. And we just had this little moment. They like give him like a little cheers of the Dama and walked away kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. But yeah, that's something that would be a good fucking little thing to throw into a care package via Rod, I think, is a big ass bolero
Yeah,
maybe depending on who the people are, if they're of age, maybe I'll try and sneak a little tequila in there. I don't think that's legal.
So yeah, that's true. Another year. That was one of something I was going to mention, like, Krom trick of the year. I was contemplating throwing my skull plane in there, but dude, I decided against it.
No, I want to see it in there. That's sick.
Because it's like you need the full experience. I felt like, because I wouldn't. Could you? Was there a time limit? I think there was a time limit.
I don't think so.
No, maybe not.
Was there? I thought it was just like a single trick.
Single trick, yeah, from an edit or anything, or just a clip of the year.
Just because your clip has a lot of B-roll and is super sick doesn't make it illegal, does it?
Hey. So, but actually, no, there's like 2 other tricks that are hidden into it. So I would have to like cut that out somehow, because it's the full experience that I want you to get.
It would be epic if you won with skull plane. That would change the game of trick of the year.
Oh my God. People would, we'd be like, well, okay, I don't have to actually just do a trick.
Yeah. Well, you do have to do a trick, but you got to be creative.
Be creative. But then, so then I was thinking of, what you're going to do for New Year, new edit.
Yeah.
People got to get rocking on it.
Exactly. Just like last year, I got all the other sponsors to like pick their own prize and ship the prize from them and yada yada. So it's kind of perfect that I did it that way, because I don't actually have to be super hands-on involved. I can do this via a phone. I think I can handle it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna fucking do it, because I want to see some more edits.
Yeah.
Although one funny thing is, it's a little tidbit for any of you who did enter, is that you will still have access to the fucking playlist on YouTube, because for whatever reason, YouTube won't let me turn off collaborator mode on my video playlist, which is the New Year New Edit playlist. There should be 77 videos. I've been checking that playlist as often as I remember and deleting extra ones, because people will just like in their own YouTube, like pick a video and just like, add to playlist. And like, that will be one that comes up. And I think they accidentally click it. Nobody wants to add videos. If they are, then fuck you, because you're causing me a fucking headache. But I like to believe they're not. And anyway, so it's been kind of funny, because I've emailed YouTube several times, and I've like looked into like, I think I posted on the Reddit like a bunch of shit. Like I just have not gotten answers from anyone, and I just kind of gave up and have just been checking it and deleting it. So I think I'm still going to do it the same way, because it's just, I don't know how else to make it easy, to like release videos. And if you guys know of a better way, if anybody knows, hit me up. I would love to talk about it. That was
tough, because I mean, in the past, everyone would just, you would just be able to search by a specific title that a company would say like, okay, for this comp, use this title in your YouTube video that you upload, and then you do the search and you find it.
I want to leave it as open as possible, though. I don't want to make you fucking title it like New Year New Edit comp. Like, you can title whatever the fuck you want. I think that's cooler, because like something like yours, like, if yours was New Edit or New Year New Edit comp skull plane, like, that's not as cool as just skull plane, because then you can use it elsewhere too, and it's like it's a fucking piece of art. It's not just like, it doesn't have to be specifically for this competition. Yes, it has to be made for this competition, but like you can still use it afterwards, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
I just think it keeps things more open, and like keeps the doors more open for creativity. I don't want to constrict anyone. I want it to be as open as possible, and everybody to be able to fucking express themselves however the fuck they want with kendama. Because that's what it's all about.
In a single minute, right? Was it a single minute? A minute and a half?
1 minute. I'm not trying to watch 2 minutes of every fucking video. I think I did 2 minutes last year. Did I? I can't remember.
It might have been
whatever I did, I'm going to do the same format. You could pretty much copy paste it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to make a new flyer. It'll be fine.
Fucking A. Be on the lookout for that. That's going to be good. Get people back on creating actual edits.
And I hope to get more videos this year than I did last year. I was excited about how many I got last year. If you entered last year, thank you so fucking much, because it really fucking warmed my heart to see the community like that. Just 77 fucking videos. That was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. So I hope we can fucking break 100 this year. That would be dope.
That would be so amazing.
if you're entering, if you're not entering, fucking tell your friends, make a video. It doesn't have to be crazy serious, just for fun. That's the whole point. That's why I like to try and get all the sponsors to make their own different individual prizes, because it's not about who's the best, who's got the most flips, who's got the most jugs, who's tapping, like that's not what it's about. It's about fucking having some goddamn fun and playing some kendama.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Overall, like who just creates something that hits. And you said, there's so many different prizes. And I think that was a really cool way to spread it out instead of like having just pretty much almost all of the prizes go to just a handful of people. It can be really spread out. If someone wants to like, what was that? Like, was it Krom? Someone did, or Serial, who did like hardest down spike, or Lotus? I forgot who it was.
I think it was epic
hardest down spike or something. Yeah. So it's like someone totally could have just made like one of those meme videos of, those meme videos of like somebody like slipping and falling. And then it turns into like another image of someone like doing like some breakdance spin, like do that, but like a fucking down spike that turns into like an explosion of some sort. That's a fucking heavy, hard down spike.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is this kind of thinking I want to see. That's what's got to happen.
Breaking the box, outside of that KWC box.
That's right. Get out of that box. I don't know how I feel about the box these days, but I digress.
It's like, if it wasn't for the box though, I don't think the shape maybe wouldn't have been pushed as soon as it was.
You think so?
Maybe.
Because I feel like the shape was already being pushed, and that's why the box came into fruition, to like kind of try and keep a handle on that, so that it wasn't, so to keep it fair, essentially. Because we were still in the process of like figuring out what the optimal kind of thing is. And I feel like now that the current shape is like, any bigger is like considered a little bit jumbo, and any smaller is like too small. It's like there's always been like a regular shape, but now there's like an optimal like fucking shredder shape that kind of is within this box, like to use a term that I don't like, like within that box.
Right. It's like, the skateboards that finally, have a tail and a nose, concave deck. Like it's been optimized. Exactly. But if you can get bigger, then it's like, okay, maybe some things are easier, but at the other point of it, it's like, maybe now it's unfair. So like you look at like your Terra LBBs or Sumos, which like lunar like crazy. Maybe there should be its own. Whereas for the next NACO, have a lunar lunar section, not lunar. What am I fucking talking about? Sumo,
sumo section. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
kaiju section.
Yeah, but that's like kind of what I'm talking about too. Is that like the game has progressed to this point where it's like having the bigger Dama is only going to help you with a certain realm of tricks. There's a whole another world of tricks and like other realms, like if you make one that's realistic, like a sumo is really dope for, a lunar trick, sure. But like, are you going to do like multi taps and juggles on that the same way, and like late flips and, slingers and shit like that? Like, no,
slingers. I mean? Oh my God. Can it sling?
Yeah. Like you can, I'm sure there's someone who can do all the level 12s on a sumo, but like, you know what I mean? But like, that's not optimal. That's not like, no one's going to choose to do that in a competition when you're trying to win.
Yeah.
Right. So like in that regard, I feel like we've outgrown the box, but I mean, that's not my call.
That's right. I think, it's still, I mean, you don't even have to, because there was no box for online. I
mean, how could they? They're not going to fucking send you a box so you can put the can in it.
I mean, they could have been like, print out this piece of paper that is like actual size and take a picture of the can. I hate
that idea. So I'm so glad you didn't tell them that beforehand.
So they could have done that, but so it's like
I would have hated that.
Just to show that the box has been put aside already for these online comps. So it's like, why do we actually need to do it? The bevel test, like I guess you could do that, but there's been times in the past where people fucked with it. I remember one year I saw Kozarov with like, did I tell you how she had like weights? She had like metal like bolts in the Sarado so she could lunar easier. Like
I've seen some shit like that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's like, there's been a lot of things, and there is a lot of things you can do with that, right? Like, I
would also say, like, Kozarov did it, so it's like, whatever. It's like you're nowhere near a competitive like level of actually winning.
Well, not for like the top tier. Yeah, she's not there to win. She's there to express what kendama is about.
Yes,
right.
But
like,
if you had someone like a Gallagher come in, it's like, it's like as if you were boxing and they put like some extra sand or whatever they do for boxing in the gloves, some shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing, is like those dudes would never do that. Gallagher's for sure would never do that. They're way too pure. They would be like, fuck that. That's fucking that. They would sooner do much worse things that I don't want to talk about.
But I'm saying, like, how Gloken will probably like take note of that and be like, you can't put that there.
Yeah. And like, I feel like the way that it's been dealt with in the past, where like, there has been instances of cheating in person and shit like that, where people were handing shit on stage, intentionally on stage and yada yada. But since then, there has been things talking about, giving, what do you call it? Not discounts,
reduction of points.
Reduction. Thank you. Like reduction of points and shit like that. So, there is consequences to that, and unfortunately, online doesn't allow for a whole lot of like perspective on the person's kendama play. You only really get this one view, and it's pretty dependent on internet status and like, a bunch of other shit. So like, they're really relying on the individual
integrity.
To have some integrity and some kentegrity and fucking be a good person about it.
Right.
So it's an interesting thing, because like, I think that's cool. Like, just putting trust in the community, just being like, we've had these issues in the past, but we've talked about it, and now we don't really have a choice but to do it this way. So we have no choice but to trust you. So,
especially when there's money on the line.
Yeah. And that's where it gets a little shysty, because people can see that and stuff. I like to think that kendama is the type of game that attracts the type of people that would not be like that, just simply through the whole, like, the tenacity that you require in order to get to that level of kendama in the first place.
Yes.
Because it's not like some Joe Schmo that's never played kendama before could be like, I'm going to go beat Nick Gallagher with this fucking metal rod in my Cerado and some fucking some Velcro in the cups, man. Fucking Gallagher, like, like, that's not how that works. They're not going to be able to do it, even if you had all of the cheats in the world,
Yeah. Nanobots in the kendama.
Unless you were literally like telekinetic and could just like use your fucking mind to do that shit. That's the only way I could see it.
Yeah. I think Bonds is on that level. Have you seen his face when he plays? I think,
Yeah, if anybody's on that level, is Bond. But again, he's been there for years. Like, he fucking invented that level, he discovered it.
Yeah.
If anything.
True.
Yeah. That's the Bonds tier.
That is. So, dude, there's so much, again, that's happened. Yasu, this is the year of Yasu.
The year of Yasu, dude. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. He took Kendama World Cup and then Catch and Flow. Pretty amazing to see this little dude just going so hard. He's super active. He's joined up with Yua,
EG and Yua.
And Yua. For like the O heads, 01 heads. They're doing like more and more like freestyle competitions in Japan, where they have like, freestyle, like what is it? Soccer lifting freestyle, or like basketball, like juggling kind of, or dance. And they're a part of that. And like winning, one of the first ones I saw them featured in, they took first place.
I saw that shit. Yeah. The one where what was it? Like, did EG like throw Yasu up or something like that?
Yes.
And he like spiked it while he threw him or some shit.
Yeah. It was some intense shit. So they've been on TV here in Japan also. Yeah. Being featured in like morning news programs or some variety shows. Just because it's like, cool. It's this new fresh way of seeing kendama. So he's been on that. Now he's with the high receipts. My gosh.
Yes.
Now the only thing I can think of this interesting like translation of, like a high receipt, high as in being like expensive, right?
Yeah.
So it's like these dudes, pricey products, brand
it's
items.
Funny though, because like, I wonder, like, knowing those kids, they listen to a lot of like rap music and shit that they're for sure talking about fucking being high and doing drugs and shit in the rap music. So I wonder how much they fucking, pick up of that, because all of them know a tidbit of English, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if there's some little references in there just fucking laughing at us all, thinking, because we're all like, oh, they don't know. They might fucking know. They might,
I guess. Who's the oldest? I think Nobu? Soma?
Yeah, I think
Soma?
Soma might be, actually. I think Soma might be.
Because he's in university or finishing up. Yeah.
Yeah. I respect them all enough to give them the benefit of the doubt that I think they have the ability to understand that level at least.
Yeah.
Whether they are at this moment or they will when I talk to them.
How fucking awesome is it though? Because like that really brings me back to like the COTK, Wenatchee, Kendama, the team vibe of
it's
having
been a while
these.
since they've seen like a team of like actual like of shredders that are like taking the shit down.
Not
it's
from
just like not
a company.
Yeah. Exactly. I was just going to say not company affiliated. Yeah.
Of course they are sponsored, but it's like,
there is teams who have been around and have been killing it and have popped up and they're killing it and shit like that. I'm not trying to dismiss anybody else working at it, because I just thought of a couple as well, but this is like a good one because it's like a lot of like top level players who have been around.
I guess
like
it's true.
Big,
in the spotlight,
big news in the Dama zone. Like they are in the spotlight.
Almost like
there's two world champions in that group.
Straight up.
And fucking EG, who is like one of the most epic like kendama performers of all time. Like,
is Easy in? I don't think Easy's in it.
Or I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of the 01 heads thing. Still.
Oh yeah. No, that's
Yeah, I'm getting all this. There's too many groups. My head's spinning.
So it's really awesome to see that happen, them that come together. And with Soma getting pretty nasty at cinematography and filming for that, makes sets again, makes that receipt high. Yeah.
It's definitely up in the price of that receipt.
Right, dude. There's a lot of other like kind of pinnacle things that happened this year was Bray going to no jumper. This is a very controversial topic that was hitting very hard early this year. That's what started off the year. Remember?
Yeah, I do.
Adam 22 being put on the spotlight again of his accusations. Danye from Kusa going pretty hard to.
Was that at the beginning of this year or was that not last year?
Was that? No. I kind of feel like it was one of those this year. And that's why we started like the girls month, and I kind of like wanted to focus on that to give a highlight voice kind of to the women in the community.
Yeah, that checks out for sure.
So I believe it was that, but there's some people who are like, poor. I've heard, I forgot what it was, like maybe some like live stream or like they were talking about like Bray going to no jumper, and some people were like, oh, like that sucks that he's a no jumper, and I'm thinking like, you know what though, like. If you look at the wholesomeness of Kendama USA, even though like they push that like kind of cool aesthetic with their clips and of course, the like maybe music style, but Bray was more of a abrasive, I think, kind of individual.
Yeah, definitely.
So I kind of feel like he's feeling at home, even like without any of the allegations of Adam. He feels, I think, at home right now, being able to like smoke weed, get tattoos, show off, like, and it's probably the best for him because it's going to help him grow. I'm sure there's plenty of things he's like, I can't do that. Kendama USA. Of course, I'm sure, happy and grateful for Kusa.
But I think two big things about that were that one of them was that Wyatt was like, for one thing, allowed to like do his own shape and shit like that, right?
Huge, yeah.
Like he was allowed to do whatever he wants, which was like, a thing that I think he wanted for a while with Kusa. He didn't really have his own shape, right? He had like the Kaizen shape pro mods, kind of thing. Yeah,
the only other company to do that was GT
or us too, right? Like we had like Terra had like just the Prefect pro mods, kind of thing until now. Well, until the GFN, actually, the GFN was the first like pro shape.
That's true.
But then the other thing is that, like with that whole Adam 22 thing, it being like a weird thing, like at some point, I seem to remember he wasn't even really involved with No Jumper Kendama. Like he started it and it was like his thing, but like it was like run by this other dude and stuff. And I don't like know all the specifics and shit, but that's what I remember hearing anyways. And like all those dudes that are involved with it are really like passionate about kendama and really do a lot for it, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. The people who are on the team still and stuff are hardcore players and have been in it for a while. And it's almost just a sad state of affairs that people now look at it as for the CEO or a president, or, you know, whatever Adam's stance on it is what he's doing. Cause maybe he's just like created it, or, you know, he's pretty much funding it, but it is run by someone else. We don't know. Again, we'd have to get someone who is in the know to learn more about that, because it's all just question marks, which I think there's a lot of question marks in the kendama industry that people still don't know about.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of, with any industry, that you're never going to know all of the ins and outs unless you're like fully within, you know?
Yeah, right. Walt Disney, he's like still in fucking cryostasis.
Yeah.
His head.
Yeah, he's still... yeah,
another
his head in a jar next to everybody else on Futurama.
I think another big thing that happened was Sweets coming out with their beta clear / what was it called again? Revote? No. They're
we're the best damanerds ever.
Fuck, it was called beta, and then they changed it to something else that I was like, I guess so, but because I just got used to calling it beta. Ratio clear,
because
it's the best ratio of slip and stick.
I see. Yeah.
And after that, did you know that Ozora Yamagata Kobo has a new in-house clear?
I did not know that. No.
They have just released on the Reshape 3 with this super special kind of like a type of keyaki, but it's not. It's a different type of species of wood. Limited run with this new kind of clear, which hasn't been really promoted, I don't think, outside of Japan, but still on their website. I think I'm kind of curious. I should pick it up just because it's like, what are they going to do with it? We know they have some good players who are in high ranking JKA players. Also within KWC as well, definitely. But so people jumping on this ratio clear because pro clear was not a thing anymore, and it's a new step, it's a new thing,
the new juice.
Yeah, that people can get on, and some people are about it, some people aren't about it. There's been a lot of people complaining about recent cushion clear, of it being just not what it was like before, and falling apart easier, problems. And, you know, with a company as it gets bigger, they have to make stuff easier to make, or possibly cheaper. So it's like, what you going to do? But now here's ratio clear. And one of the things that they really specify is that it's durable. Now, dude, are you one who is like, care about how the Dama looks? Because personally, I love the aesthetic, and when I drop it, paint chips and stuff, I'm like, fuck, I get pissed. Like, I'm like, it's degraded now. But people are like, oh, you know, what's the Terra motto?
Fucking destroy that shit, dude. Destroy all Damas.
But some you want to keep pristine.
I mean, yeah, you do. And I also have a few that like don't really leave the house. You know, they still get seshed, but only at home on the carpet kind of thing.
Yes. I feel that.
I'm a big believer in the fact that, you know, like that thing eventually is going to turn back to dust, just as you and I. So fuck it. You might as well be the one to destroy it. Give it the love that it needs to fucking move on. Be the one to fucking take it.
I've been slowly on that turn, because I've gone through like some old crates of Damas that I have that I've been keeping, and like the Tamas are egging out, or the paint is getting really weird. Like it's getting gross. Yeah. With like just it being like in down, like under in this crate, or like the humidity, at least within Japan and stuff, it gets all whack. So I'm like, fuck, man. Like now it's messed up. Like now it is just a shelf piece. Like I should have played it better or more.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm on that a little bit, you know?
Yeah, man. That being said, some of the best ones I've ever played come out of a box, like that have been sitting there for years kind of thing.
Ooh.
And they're just like they got the right amount of dust on them or something. I don't know what it is, but they just fucking they're fermented. They're aged to perfection.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
a new take on
those wine.
That wine, yeah.
The
legend.
wine Mugans, right? Or the wine.
There. I was thinking of the whiskey or the whiskey legends. Other huge thing, dude. More Sweets has been sweeping players. Legends have been created. Dude, Austin Donovan, legend. Kendama Malicious. Ronnie is a legend. Dude, and possibly the biggest nerd, Dan Robinson.
Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah. D-Row.
Amazing.
Dude, I need to get me a D-Row mod real quick.
Amazing. And I think these were announced with within 1 month. So I don't know if you've been keeping track, but for me doing the news on Kendertainment with Rylan from Kendama, we noticed dude, every Friday Sweets and Krom was releasing a new Dama. Every fucking Friday. It was ridiculous. How much they must have been scheduling. I know, with Hondui and the turnaround time, they must have this shit so far. Last year, they're prepping next year. But what is coming out?
But also as far as Honrui goes, I'm sure that those are their two biggest customers. They have to be, right?
Dude, yeah. But you know what? But so those two were not at a war, but just releasing Damas back to back, and these legends came out within 1 week. But I kind of feel I like the aspect that Krom has, where they have a really small, limited batch of these Damas that go out. I feel like they're less. There's a less amount, so it's you really got to jump on it.
I wonder though if that's just not just a marketing ploy, if they're just these are limited, but they actually have
a bunch more
or something.
Because how they have
limited to 5,000. Yeah, who knows?
They have
limited just the word. It doesn't really mean that there isn't a lot of them.
Come on, are they lying to us? Tokyo, come on.
I'm not trying to say they're lying. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I love Krom. I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just
there's there's the numbering. It's out of 200. This is kendama, whatever. I was are they burning each and every one a different number?
Do they do that? I haven't seen them doing that. That's news to me. Oh well, then I fucking stand corrected, and I'm sorry.
Could be, but no, dude. They could totally just make 3 sets of those that say 1 to 200.
Yeah. I got number 2. I got number 2.
Oh shit.
They're all number 2.
Yeah, right.
That would be hilarious.
So Toko's screaming at Rolf. He's like, "Damn, dude! I told you to send 1 set to North America and the other set to Europe, so that doesn't happen."
I don't think it's that easy anymore, though.
Those were kind of really, really big things that I've seen. That was that really stood out within this year. Was there anything that you remember that sparks in your mind?
I mean, to be completely honest, I haven't been as on the whole social media thing as much as I usually am in the past. To be honest, I've been more focused on just doing shit. I've been on my own little fucking adventure, just walking around doing kendama stuff.
Yeah.
you know, whether it just be meeting people and playing or whatever, but
definitely.
Yeah. I haven't been as deep into the phone lately.
Dude, Akimoto hitting 60 big cups.
He hit 60. I didn't see that. When was that?
That was this year.
Oh no, I did see that one.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, that's wild. Is he going to get to 100? He's going to need to build a contraption. He's going to need to start lifting weights to get to 100.
Once he got to 50, if he just made a second set of the same thing, but it's he won't be able to pull up in the same fashion.
But that's what I'm saying. He's going to have to fucking build it out of goddamn rebar or some shit. Or make a contraption that's you can hold it at either end, but you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if it's big. Sue Lab going full, creating all their damas within Japan, even the friction clear lights. That is something.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's happened.
Speaking of Sue Lab, Moti left Sue Lab.
Ooh, Moti left Sue Lab.
That was big.
That was, as well as Mike Schilling. He wasn't super active, but Mikey left.
That's true. That's true too. Yeah.
Needed to focus on the Devil's Lettuce production. The
Devil's Lettuce. Yes. The Devil's Lettuce. We all like to focus too much on the Devil's Lettuce.
The Devil's Lettuce.
speaking of which, I think I have something right here. But I was going to say, I noticed that once Marty posted that he's not going to be a part of Sulab anymore, I saw a lot of soul kendamas in his hands.
Dude, he's played.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
Okay, so within the weekly news again that I do, there's been some premonitions that I've had, some estimates. Call me Nostradamus or Nosferatu, whichever you prefer. But
Nostradamus.
Oh shit! There's probably someone with that handle.
There better be.
I'm thinking that he's gonna go to Soul.
Yeah.
Even before, like I don't know, like there's something that resonates with that. The other one that I had was
I was just gonna say, you're on like the whole inside of the Sulab and shit. Do you have any inside knowledge as to why he left Sulab?
I do not actually. Since that has become public, I did not hear, and I haven't gone to Sue's place in a while. So I haven't been able to talk with him in person about hey dude, just what happened? Yeah. Like, was it just a change of minds? We were just talking about
how busy you are.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not sure exactly why he left, but I do know when talking with Sue, Moti, and Takuya would be like pros and Noah about like what their feeling is of kendama, just me and Sue talking. And he was mentioning how, Moti has like an idea of what he wants to do with kendama and his kendama career. But Takuya, on the other hand, was more like, whatever, I'm just going to roll with the punches. I don't know. I just like playing kendama. Yeah. And I think that's why he's a double sponsored player. Maybe the only one within the world right now.
Takuya?
Yeah. He's like pro for Israel. And I don't know if he's a pro Israel, but he's a sponsored player for Israel and pro for Sulab.
I guess that's true, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kaito was on that route too, when he was playing for Sulab in the old days. And then GT picked him up and he was on the whatever flow team. I don't know if they have a specific name for their team. And then he went full GT.
Well, then he became the world champion. So they had to fucking do something. I mean, it's fucking Kaito.
It's Kaito. It is Kaito.
The monster.
Ichiban.
Kaito the kaiju. Kaito Ichiban.
Ichiban, yeah, that's what it was. Kaito Ichiban.
Well, here's a fun little one for you that you don't even know about, I don't think.
Oh, sweet.
Well, there's, being that it's just before Christmas and that means that January is next month.
Yeah.
There's going to be a battle at the border going on.
Oh,
the 20th and 29th.
Yes.
In Nashville, Tennessee.
Soul's throwing it.
And they're doing a invitation only freestyle competition.
Oh, okay.
I'm stoked to be one of the invited players to be competing in the freestyle.
That is sick, dude. Get back in the freestyle game. So how is
another thing that has lit a fire under my ass lately?
Okay, to get back on it.
Got me back into just session a whole bunch. I've been session every day since Chad told me that, actually.
Hells yeah, dude. Do you know how many people are going to be invited for that freestyle? 16. That should be cool.
That should be cool because it's going to be an in-person event. Which hasn't happened really.
It's been a while.
I feel sorry for Nashville. We're going to fuck that town up, I feel.
I heard from the grapevine that Canada has gone down through like lockdown again. And some people, like I heard maybe it was Mamba who was mentioning how he has to cancel his ticket because he can't go.
That's news to me. I didn't know that.
Of course,
that's
fucking Mexico.
I mean, yeah, I can go to and from Mexico. Don't matter. It's easy.
Boat or not, you're in Mexico.
Exactly.
So yeah, that should be awesome. There's more in person, getting back in person. There's been small sessions that have been happening. I know here in Japan, there's been like mini events and stuff that's been going down. Also in North America, a lot of the smaller teams I know in Georgia, in Atlanta, they've had a few like get-togethers and like some comps and stuff. So that's really cool. Yeah. Brew battle, of course.
We had Van Jam this year. Van Jam this year.
We'll see what's happening with the in-person events, but still, because of this pandemic, I feel like there was a huge increase of people that picked up kendamas, and probably due to the fact of Sweets sponsoring these electronic music. Yeah. the mob, pretty much.
The mob.
Creating the mob.
Is sick. I love the Sweets mob. Those guys are fucking dope. That's like something that I think kendama needs more of, is just branching out into like the other shit, you know,
next level.
That's why I like the whole juggling thing and like putting it all together and shit. It's like, you know, going to the juggling events, going to this, whatever. Just like people, man. You need more people.
Next level, dude. More could be another person on the music scene. You know the band Cave In.
Yeah, I do.
The guitarist of Cave In, Adam, I forgot his last name, is into Dama. He's posting Dama on his stories on his Instagram. He already has a grip of Damas that I see him playing with.
Shit.
My friend, my metal brethren from Boston hit me up and he's like, dude, and he is a musician and he knows Adam. And he's like, dude, I see Adam, he's posting with that kendama thing of yours. You should hit him up. And of course I did. And we're like messaging back and forth. It's just such an awesome thing to see it branch out, especially into like the world of kind of like extreme music, heavy metal players. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's an older dude too. Yeah. So seeing it resonate there, it's awesome to see.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And then what recently, you know, Goat Danny was at a Every Time I Die show. And I guess he is friends with Fish, one of the, I thought his name was Fish.
Yeah.
A drummer.
Goat used to play in a band called Heavy Lolo that was pretty huge, that toured with those guys and shit. So yeah, of course he's in there. That's
so he was sick. There. There's, you know, I saw clips of him like hanging out in the green room with Jordan, the guitarist, and like fucking messing around, pulling up Big Cup and shit. Like that's fucking good shit, Goat, you know?
Yo, the mob, there was that it was Reed and it was Coop, and they showed Jerry fucking Seinfeld kendama and they gave him a kendama.
Yes. I love that. That's last shit. What that one dude who was just laughing at the end, he's like, you gave a kendama to Jerry Seinfeld. Like just like, what the fuck? We're in the universe.
Some surreal shit. That's some surreal shit.
Hilarious. I love the way how he doesn't know how to hold a kendama. He's like holding it kind of like whack, like
hanging it by the base cup, just like
It's funny to see,
like, because it was all wrapped onto the spike too. I wonder if he got home and was like, so how do you get this thing off of here? He called just Kramer, and Kramer comes in and is like, what's that thing?
Gonna give it to like, I'm sure he has kids, right? He probably give it to his kid or something to mess around with. But cool. He'd probably, you know, now look into it and be like, hey, hopefully this would probably be the best time to have a QR code on a kendama.
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah. I'm sure
easily. What was it called? I don't know. This kid said something about Japan. I don't know. That's all I remember. Oh, but it says kendama. I guess that would be the link.
Maybe he'll be hyped enough. We can get Jerry Seinfeld to fucking like host one of the events or something. That would be epic.
At least like a video message to play at the opening ceremony.
Or come do like a stand-up performance for all of us idiots afterwards. That'd be fun.
Jeez.
Something. I don't know. I would just love to see Mr. Seinfeld involved with kendama. That would be fun.
What's the deal with this kendama? Like, dude. Okay. I think that's it. I don't know what else to fucking talk about, dudes.
I mean, yeah, it's been good. I mean, we got a little caught up on the adventures of Rod, the adventures of MJ, the current events, all that shit, you know?
Yeah. Wrapping up somewhat of this year.
Yeah.
Good, bad, highs, lows. It is what it is, and is now over. We're rolling on to 2022. Probably 2022. Everyone's listening to this already into the future. Again, we're recording the final one of December.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the continued support. It really fucking means like the world. And moving forward will just help me to give me more motivation and to produce more stuff, because I'm my sights are on YouTube for kendertainment and to work on different style of content. Also, again, continuing with Damanerds. We still have yet to get on the infamous Godfather of Kendama, and that's maybe a thing that can happen in the year 2022.
Man, I was so close to him too in California. And I'm still gonna scheme on it. Don't worry, we're scheming.
Put him in a headlock.
Yeah, we're gonna get him.
It's happening. There'll be a lot of other awesome people me and Rod have on our list of people to contact to do episodes with. And hopefully we can get it done with your continued support. I think we can do it.
Yeah. Big shout outs to the Patreons.
Hells yeah.
All the loves.
Thank you so much. Yeah. You can support if you go to Patreon, Kendertainment. You can find that stuff. I think there's probably links on the Instagram as well, kendertainment or damanerds. A lot of cool shit. If you haven't gone to see Rod's episode, I put that up publicly on the YouTube channel. You can watch the full 2-hour video because such a special episode. Not only the Patreons get to watch it, everyone can watch it and
you can
enjoy
hear me giggle the entire time in the background, just giggling because it was hilarious.
It was good. It's good. So definitely go do that. Again, thank you all so much. It's awesome.
Hell yeah. And I guess with that said, the nerds are out.